Have you ever met someone in their 70s who radiates vitality, wisdom, and joy? These remarkable souls aren't just lucky, they've mastered the art of living well in their golden years. I've spent years studying what makes these vibrant elders different, and today, I want to share their secrets with you. In my conversations with countless older adults who continue to thrive well into their 70s and 80s, I've discovered 8 essential habits that set them apart. These aren't complex lifestyle changes or expensive regimens. They're simple, everyday practices that create extraordinary results. What makes these habits special isn't just their ability to maintain physical health or mental sharpness. It's how they weave together to create a rich tapestry of well-being, purpose, and joy. Whether you're approaching your senior years or already embracing them, these insights could transform how you experience this precious chapter of life. Before we begin this journey together, I want you to know something important: it's never too late to start. Every small step you take toward these habits brings you closer to the vibrant, fulfilling life you deserve. So, let's explore these 8 gems of wisdom that could make your golden years truly golden. 1. Physical health, the foundation of independence. I've known many remarkable people in their 70s who move with the grace of those decades younger. Their secret isn't complicated, it's consistency. Let me share what I've learned from these inspiring individuals about maintaining physical vitality. The cornerstone of their independence is something beautifully simple: they remain active in their daily lives. Picture Mary, a vibrant 75-year-old I know, who still tends her garden, prepares her meals, and keeps her home spotless. She's not merely surviving, she's thriving. "Every task I can do myself," she once told me, "is a small victory." These daily activities aren't just chores, they're investments in independence. But it's not just about daily tasks. These vital seniors understand that movement is medicine. They don't train for marathons or lift heavy weights. Instead, they embrace gentle but consistent exercise that brings joy. Some find peace in morning walks when the world is still quiet. Others discover rhythm in water aerobics or grace in Tai Chi. The key isn't the intensity, it's the regularity and enjoyment. Perhaps the most crucial lesson they share about physical health comes from their relationship with food. They don't follow rigid diets or count every calorie. Instead, they've developed a simple wisdom about nourishment. Their plates often tell a story of colorful vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. They eat like people who expect to be around for a while, mindfully and with pleasure. Here's what I find most remarkable: they treat their bodies not as machines that need maintenance, but as trusted friends that deserve care. They listen when their bodies whisper instead of waiting for them to shout. They rest when tired, move when stiff, and eat when hungry. This intuitive approach to physical health isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. One gentleman in his 80s shared a perspective I'll never forget. "Taking care of my body isn't a burden," he said, "it's my way of thanking it for carrying me this far." This gratitude transforms routine health practices into acts of self-respect and celebration. 2. Mental sharpness, the art of keeping your mind young. Let me tell you about James, an 82-year-old former teacher I know who still tackles the Sunday crossword with a twinkle in his eye. "The mind," he often says, "is like a garden, it blooms when you tend to it." His mental vitality isn't a gift of genetics, it's the result of daily cultivation. I've noticed that people who stay sharp in their later years share a beautiful trait: they approach learning with childlike wonder. They don't just read books, they devour them. They don't just watch the news, they discuss it. They engage with the world as if they're still discovering it for the first time. Consider Sarah, a 77-year-old who recently started learning Spanish. "Why not?" she laughed when I asked her about it. "The world still has so much to teach me." Problem solving becomes their daily adventure. They don't shy away from challenges, they welcome them like old friends. Whether it's mastering a new recipe, learning to use video calls to connect with grandchildren, or figuring out a better way to organize their medications, they approach each puzzle with patience and persistence. These aren't just tasks to complete, they're opportunities to keep their minds agile. What strikes me most about these mentally active seniors is their unquenchable curiosity. They ask questions not because they need answers, but because they delight in discovery. They're interested in everything from their grandchildren's latest technology to the migration patterns of birds in their backyard. This curiosity keeps them connected not just to their immediate world, but to life itself. One of my favorite examples is Dorothy, a 75-year-old who starts each day with a new question. Yesterday, I wondered why leaves change color in fall, she told me. Today, I'm curious about how clouds form. There's always something new to learn, and that's what keeps me young at heart. They understand something profound. Mental sharpness isn't about competing with younger minds or proving anything to anyone. It's about maintaining a loving relationship with learning, about staying engaged with the world around them, and finding joy in the simple act of discovery. 3. Social connections, the threads that weave a rich life. They say a life well lived is measured by the hearts we touch, and nowhere is this more evident than in the lives of vibrant seniors who understand the art of connection. Let me share what I've learned from these masters of meaningful relationships. I think of Eleanor, a sparkling 78-year-old who hosts weekly tea gatherings in her small apartment. Relationships are like precious china, she once told me, her eyes twinkling. They need regular care and attention, but they make life so much more beautiful. Her living room becomes a sanctuary of laughter, shared stories, and the kind of wisdom that only decades of friendship can bring. These socially connected seniors don't just maintain relationships, they nurture them with intention. They remember birthdays, make those phone calls, send those cards. They understand that in this digital age, there's something powerful about hearing a real voice or seeing a familiar face. Take Bob, who at 73, learned to use video chat just to see his grandchildren's faces light up during their weekly virtual dinner together. But what truly sets them apart is their way of giving back to their communities. They don't retire from life, they reinvest in it. Whether it's volunteering at the local library, mentoring young people, or simply being that neighbor who always has time to listen, they weave themselves into the fabric of their communities. As Martha, a devoted volunteer at 82, puts it, when you give your time to others, you get back so much more than you give. I've noticed these social butterflies don't limit themselves to their age group. They find joy in connecting with people of all ages. There's Tom, who at 76 joined a mixed-age book club. Young people keep my mind fresh, he says with a grin. And sometimes, just sometimes, they actually want to hear what I think about things. What's most remarkable about these social connections isn't their quantity but their quality. These wise souls know that it's not about having the most friends or the busiest social calendar. It's about having meaningful connections that warm the heart and nourish the soul. They've learned that a single authentic conversation can be worth more than a dozen superficial interactions. 4. Financial security, the art of creating peace of mind. Let me share a quiet truth I've learned from wise seniors who've mastered the art of financial peace. It's not about having the most money, it's about having enough to sleep soundly at night. Their approach to finances carries a gentle wisdom that money books rarely mention. I remember sitting with Ruth, a serene 76-year-old, in her modest but comfortable home. Money, she told me while sipping her afternoon tea, is like water in a garden. Too little and things wither, too much and they drown. The secret is finding the right flow. Her words capture the essence of what I've observed among seniors who've found financial peace. These financial sages practice what I call gentle budgeting. They don't obsess over every penny, but they maintain a clear understanding of their resources. Like skilled orchestra conductors, they direct their money with purpose and rhythm. They know their monthly symphony of expenses, the necessities, the small pleasures, and the occasional splurge, and they conduct it all with quiet confidence. Take George, a former accountant now in his early 80s. His approach to retirement planning wasn't about chasing the highest returns. "I planned my retirement like I was planning a long, peaceful journey," he shared. "You don't need a luxury cruise ship, you just need a reliable boat and enough supplies to weather any storm." His metaphor perfectly captures the mindset of those who found financial contentment in their golden years. What strikes me most about these financially secure seniors is their relationship with money. They don't see it as a source of status or power, but as a tool for creating a life of dignity and peace. They've learned to distinguish between wants and needs, not through deprivation, but through wisdom. As Marie, a thoughtful 72-year-old, puts it, "The best things in my life, my friends, my family, my morning walks, don't cost much at all." There. Financial independence isn't about wealth, it's about freedom. Freedom from worry, freedom to help others when they can, and freedom to focus on what truly matters in life. They've mastered the art of having enough while being enough. 5. Emotional well-being, the gentle art of inner peace. Have you ever met someone whose presence feels like a warm summer breeze? I've been fortunate to know many such souls in their golden years. Their emotional well-being isn't a matter of luck, it's an art they've perfected over decades, and their wisdom about inner peace is worth more than gold. Meet Grace, a luminous 79-year-old who radiates serenity. "Life," she told me once while tending to her window herbs, "is like these plants. Some days bring sunshine, others bring rain, but it's all necessary for growth." Her philosophy captures the essence of emotional resilience I've observed in thriving seniors. These masters of emotional well-being have learned to cultivate what I call a quiet joy. They don't chase after happiness like it's a butterfly to be caught. Instead, they create an inner garden where contentment naturally blooms. They find pleasure in simple moments, the first sip of morning coffee, a cardinal at the bird feeder, a phone call from a friend. These aren't just moments, they're treasures they've learned to recognize and cherish. What impresses me most is their relationship with life's challenges. Take Thomas, an 83-year-old who lost his wife 2 years ago. "Grief doesn't go away," he shared with me, "but it changes. Like a river carving a canyon, it creates depth in your soul." This ability to find meaning in difficulty, to see challenges as teachers rather than enemies, sets them apart. They've mastered the art of emotional boundaries too. As Clara, a wise 75-year-old, puts it, "Not everything needs your emotional energy. Save your heart for what truly matters." They know when to engage and when to let go, when to take things seriously and when to let them float by like clouds in the sky. Perhaps most importantly, these emotionally wise elders understand the power of purpose. They wake up each morning with something to look forward to, something to care about beyond themselves. Whether it's nurturing their relationships, pursuing a hobby, or contributing to their community, they maintain a sense of meaning that anchors their emotional well-being. 6. Continuous learning, the dance of growth and discovery. I've met people who seem to grow younger in spirit with each passing year. Their secret? They never stop dancing with curiosity. Let me share what I've learned from these eternal students of life, whose minds remain as fresh as morning dew. Consider Margaret, an 85-year-old who recently learned to paint watercolors. "Every blank canvas is a new adventure," she tells me, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. When you stop learning, you stop living. Her art isn't about mastery, it's about the joy of discovery, about seeing the world through new eyes each day. These lifelong learners have mastered what I call the art of beginning again. They don't let age define what they can or cannot learn. Take David, a 77-year-old who decided to learn about astronomy. The universe doesn't care how old you are, he chuckles while adjusting his telescope. It reveals its secrets to anyone patient enough to look up and wonder. What strikes me most about these vibrant seniors is their adaptability. They don't fight change, they dance with it. When smartphones became essential, they didn't shy away, they asked their grandchildren to teach them. When online shopping became necessary during difficult times, they embraced it as a new skill to master. As Helen, a tech-savvy 73-year-old, puts it, every new challenge is just tomorrow's routine in disguise. Their approach to learning is gentle but persistent. They're not trying to climb mountains in a day, they're taking peaceful walks through the gardens of knowledge. Whether it's learning a new recipe, understanding current events, or mastering a craft, they move at their own pace, celebrating small victories along the way. Most importantly, they've learned that growth isn't just about acquiring new skills, it's about expanding the heart. They remain open to new ideas, new perspectives, and new ways of seeing the world. As Frank, a wise 81-year-old, told me, the day you think you know everything is the day your world stops growing. 7. Sense of humor, the sunshine of the soul. Let me tell you about Jack, who at 82 still has the most infectious laugh I've ever heard. Life's too short to be serious all the time, he says with a twinkle in his eye. Besides, laughter is the only exercise my face gets these days. His ability to find humor in everyday moments isn't just charming, it's one of his greatest strengths. I've noticed that the most resilient seniors share this wonderful gift. They've mastered the art of not taking life too seriously. Like Helen, a spirited 76-year-old who named her walker Fred Astaire because, as she says, we dance together everywhere we go. This playful approach to life's challenges doesn't just make their days brighter, it makes them stronger. These cheerful souls understand something profound about humor. It's not just about telling jokes or being witty. It's about maintaining a light heart in a world that often feels heavy. Take Marie, who at 79 still hosts what she calls her silly Sunday brunches, where the only rule is you must share something that made you laugh that week. Collecting moments of joy, she says, is just as important as collecting memories. What's most remarkable about these merry spirits is how they use humor as a bridge to connect with others. They know that a shared laugh can dissolve tensions, bridge generations, and create bonds faster than any serious conversation. As Bob, a jovial 84-year-old, puts it, when you can laugh together, you can live together. But perhaps the most beautiful thing about their sense of humor is their ability to laugh at themselves. They've learned that dignity doesn't require constant seriousness. When Sarah, 77, accidentally wore 2 different shoes to her bridge club, she didn't feel embarrassed. She took a photo and sent it to her grandchildren with the caption "New Fashion Trend." These wise souls have discovered that maintaining a sense of humor isn't just about being happy, it's about being resilient. It's about finding light in the darkness, joy in the ordinary, and reasons to smile even when life presents challenges. As my friend Dorothy, a vivacious 85-year-old, often says, life keeps trying to make me old, but my sense of humor keeps me young.